Okay, so I've already logged into Box, obviously. To set up Box, if you haven't done it before, go to box.unl.edu. We're going to do a few very specific things to make sure we set up a folder for critique that can actually be accessible to the students. I do it often enough now that I kind of know it, but I realize some people don't do it regularly and forget in between times. So you can tell folders that are already being shared and in my desktop or my box space by the blue folders. The yellow folders are things that are not shared with anyone else. So the first thing I'm going to do to set up the folder is obviously come up here to New and go to New Folder. I'm going to name it. I usually name mine with my section numbers. I happen to actually already have one. That's the number of my regular folder. So I'm going to just say 132 951. And I'm going to go ahead. I have editor permission. Don't invite people. As I said before, there's a weird quirk with student email addresses, and when you invite them, it causes problems. So let's go ahead and click create. And now, normally it loads to the top, usually of your box folder. If yours is different, that's fine. So now I need to enable the ability for them to access it, to share it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the dot, and I'm going to go down to settings. Now there's only one person I've ever found who couldn't do this next part, and it was Mary Kay before she left. I think it had something to do with being an associate dean. But for the purposes of here, under collaboration, you should be able to check allow anyone who has access to the folder from a shared link to join as a collaborator. And then just make sure it's on editor and not viewer so they can actually add things to the box folder. Go ahead and click save. Voila, it'll take you inside the folder. Then just go back out, locate the folder. It will now be in alphabetical order. This is the one I just set up. Again, no one's added to it, so it's still yellow, makes it a little faster for me to find. And I do recommend, so you notice I named it with the section number, I do recommend having a different folder for each section. Some people go to the extent they have a different folder inside that folder for each group. Some include folders for each week. But I like to derail students from the concept that they're going to be able to store their stuff in my folder. So I just have one main folder that I erase the old stuff every week, and that way the students get used to the fact they're supposed to store it on their box folder, not ours for turning in. But to share this, we can go ahead and click share. Again, you won't invite people. Instead, you'll get a shareable link, kind of like what you can do with Google Drive. You'll copy this, and then you'll go ahead and put it in the appropriate spot in your course, which is the critique section of the course. But that is how to set up your folder for critique.